Good morning, ladies. Welcome to the Limited Edition Leadership Academy. My name is Paula Dunn, and I am welcoming you here today. Our topic today is why girls need to think like a man. Well, I'm not telling you to grow a pair and become a man, but the idea is that basically during times of coronavirus crisis and instability and uncertainty, there are certain characteristics that boys display that can actually thrive in an environment such as this uncertainty and instability that girls have challenges in doing. Now, I am overgeneralizing here, and obviously there are some girls out there that would thrive in this situation, and conversely boys that may not thrive in this uncertainty. So based on the current research by Dr. Carol Dweck and my research working with girls specifically and women, there are certain characteristics and traits um, that that make men really more at an advantage to being in this time of uncertainty. So some examples are that men generally have a higher threshold for taking risks. So they don't mind breaking the rules and the consequences that come from breaking those rules, which again leads to that uncertainty. Being risk takers means that they're comfortable with being uncomfortable and going out of their comfort zones to see what would happen, whereas girls like to play it safe. Generally, myself grew up being a good girl and doing the right thing and following the rules. And again, it's part of our innate being females that we're kind of groomed to be that way. So, for example, for boys, they like to over amplify their achievements. So, I don't know, for some of your parents who are watching or educators right now, you might know some men in your workforce that put up their hands to apply for positions of authority and they don't tick all the boxes. So, again, they'll apply for roles that they aren't 100% qualified for. Men and boys generally ask for what they want and they take what they want. They're generally proactive go-getters, and generally don't seek approval from others before they make a decision to do things. So a lot of these characteristics that men have should be starting to sort of lay over to women or girls at this time during the coronavirus crisis. So some of the things that women or traits that currently we have that could impact our academic success for 2020 is that, yeah, we do play it safe. We don't like to get out of our comfort zones because we feel safe. And when we feel safe and protected, then we feel like we're in control. We under recognize our own achievements. So, even even women under recognize each other's achievements. So those in the workforce would recognize that if a woman gets promoted, one of the first instincts is like, well, how did she get into that role? Is it because the first things aren't because she's good at what she does or she's achieved that academic ability? It's more like, well, who did she have to, you know, it's who you know, that sort of thing. Um, the other thing that could impact a girl's achievement for 2020 is that a lot of us, especially those who are high achieving women, internalize our achievements. So if we're not achieving and doing what we are generally good at, then we internalize it as whether we're good people or bad people. So whereas boys in general look at it as an external thing and it's not part of their identity. Um, Generally, girls don't put their hand up for things and they wait to get picked or selected for something, tend to be more reactive to the environment around them. So, and that's what motivates them. And lastly, we tend to get our validation from others, whether it's getting feedback from our teachers telling us whether we're good or bad, or we've done well or we haven't done well. Potentially comparing ourselves to our peers and our colleagues as to a benchmark of whether we're achieving what we're supposed to be achieving at that point in time in our lives. So there's a lot of these characteristics and behaviors that can potentially limit our abilities as girls, as women across 2020, which is a time of uncertainty. So what women need to do now and girls need to do now is to start looking at what men are doing and how they're thriving in today's uncertainty and being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it's not a bad thing. it just allows you to develop that growth mindset, that ability to build that resilience, and to say, well, you know what, sometimes things are hard, but I'm going to push through it because eventually it becomes easy. So some of the solutions that you could potentially do is think of times where you've been in a difficult situation, or a time when it's been unclear about whether you will achieve something or not, but you've pushed through it no matter what, and you've taken those little baby steps to get to where you need to go, and you've come out the other end achieving success. So, if you can think of three examples of those times when you have felt that sense of uncertainty and that fear and that instability, write them down, and write down what had happened. What actions did you take? What feelings came up for you in that moment of time? And what was the outcome of those three events? Now, if they were all three positive, and try and find ones that are positive outcomes. And so it's giving you a framework of your typical behavior of how you deal with uncertainty, and how you've risen above that uncertainty to create positive outcomes. So when you are going up against something throughout this year that is giving you that sense of fear and that anxiety and that uncertainty, you can pull on those three examples and say, well, there's a common trend here. There's a common train of thought that comes up for me, common train of feelings that come up for me. But this is what I've done to counteract that. And these are the outcomes and the results that I achieved, which again proves to you as a woman, as a girl, that you actually do have those abilities within you to handle any uncertainty that comes your way. So I do hope some of these tips have been useful for you today. And have a great day. And I'd like you to wish you all to make sure that you continue being you, have courage, and live life without limits. My name is Paula Dunn. Have a great day. Bye.